Wonder Woman 1984. It's been the talk of the town in recent weeks and months. First of all, because of the surprising distribution strategy, and second, because it's not supposed to be very good. So I'll address those points in order. First of all, I'm sure no one was surprised that with so many movie theaters still closed, the studio decided to go ahead and release the film on HBO Max the same day it was released in theaters. But a lot of people were surprised, I know I was, that they weren't charging any additional money for it the way Disney did when it launched Mulan on Disney+. In fact, Warner Brothers then took a step further, announcing their entire 2021 slate would be free to subscribers of HBO Max. Now, Warner Brothers head honcho did say this is just a pandemic strategy. Afterwards, things will go back to normal. But a lot of people were wondering, even prior to this, whether things could go back to normal after the pandemic. I mean, as it is, we got all these teenagers and young 20-somethings who have grown up watching movies on their phone and would rather just stay home and keep doing that. But I'm a millennial, I'm not Generation Z, and I hope that the theatrical distribution business continues to thrive as long as I'm alive. I just cannot imagine an existence where I can't have those 2 darkened hours in the theater to watch the latest release on that gigantic screen. But pandemic is a pandemic. Theaters everywhere are closed right now where I am, so had to watch on HBO Max, and what I think of its quality. See, that's a big deal. A lot of people have been talking bad about it, but I thought it was great, with some reservations. So the film starts off with a 10-minute sequence set on Diana's homeland, and it shows her learning the lesson that you can't cheat yourself and others in life. You have to do things the honest way. Really, that's a simple enough lesson, a universally accepted enough moral anyway, that we didn't need a whole flashback sequence showing us how it was drilled in Diana's head. Especially because this movie is not an origin story. We had that last time. It would have been much better to jump right into the action. Although, to be fair, the flashback sequence is extremely well photographed and choreographed. Then after that, we have another sequence of almost 10 minutes set in a mall in the present day, Diana saving a little girl, but this largely comical, lighthearted thing what felt more at home in the original Superman from the 70s. At this point, so many comic book movies have been made such a huge genre, and so many of them are so serious and dramatic, including this film for the most part, that I wish they just jumped to the main story instead of this irrelevant bit first. Maybe just had a brief montage of Wonder Woman rescuing civilians, so we get an idea of what she's up to these days. But anyway, after that, at least comes the main plot. Now regarding that, what the artifact at the center of it does exactly, and especially what happens when the villain, Maxwell Lord, kind of makes it vanish, becomes part of it. I didn't have an easy time understanding, and that did affect my fun, my excitement somewhat. But that's it as far as criticisms. There's a lot to like about this film. First of all, as Maxwell Lord, Pedro Pascal, Mr. Mandalorian, Mr. Man of the Hour, gives a terrific performance. He plays this guy who has always felt really pathetic and gets drunk with all his power, but only sneaks in the first place just because he wants to prove himself a worthy dad to his kid. Kristen Wiig is also amazing. I had no idea she had any dramatic acting chops, but she's wonderful here, playing Barbara, the one who ultimately becomes Wonder Woman's main rival, Cheetah. It seems like we'll get more of her in subsequent films. At least that's the impression I got, and I sure hope so. Amazing villain, and her origin story shows the similar issue as Maxwell's in that she feels like she's always been stepped on in life, and then she wants a feeling of power. And that's really a big theme of the movie. Everyone has certain things that make us feel powerless, things we wish we could change. So does Diane after having lost her lover in the previous film. But we can't be dishonest. We can't delude ourselves. The real strength comes from accepting the reality of a situation if we can't change it. I really loved Wonder Woman's whole arc with Steve Trevor. I kind of wish they'd save this for a later film when the drama would truly hit home, as is it kind of came across like they just wanted Chris Pine back, as well received as he was last time, but nonetheless, the drama is considerable, sold very well by the powerful performance of Gal Gadot, and also to Pine to some extent. Overall, I would call this a great movie. I'd watch it again. And I do hope there are more entrants in this series. In fact, I'll give it about the best compliment you can expect for a DC Extended Universe movie, and that's about as good as a Marvel Cinematic Universe movie typically is. For further thoughts, you can go to my blog at autisticartcritic.com. Also, follow us on Facebook, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button below. Thank you.